Hi guys, welcome to today's price action analysis video. This is the 13th of April and this is the expiry, and what a beautiful rally in Nifty and Bank Nifty today. Bank Nifty rallied nearly 700 points today from the day's low to the day's high, and the close is also very near to the day high today. And very early I had tweeted today morning and also put it on Telegram that it looks like I have missed the bus, and I did actually miss the bus today. So what was my plan of action today? Let's discuss it right from the previous day. Those of you who have missed yesterday's video, I had mentioned it in the yesterday's video that as long as Bank Nifty opens above the CPR for today, and it could be within the H3 L3 level or above it doesn't matter, but as long as it opens above today's CPR, I am going to be bullish on the market. And I had said so about Nifty as well. Now if you see this, Bank Nifty had actually opened above the CPR, then it made this particular red candle and then a green candle. So if you can see the high of this candle, this was the open is equal to high candle, and this was the low of the candle, and you can see the second candle is an inside bar, and so the immediate second candle is formed right within the previous, that is the first candle. And so this particular combination is a very strong combination, especially when it happens at the CPR. And you can see that the candle is taking base at the CPR, it's taking support at the CPR, and this particular candlestick pattern is called an extreme reversal candlestick pattern. So I had mentioned it in the tweet that it looks like I've missed the bus because I wanted to trade on this particular pattern, but I wasn't at the screen at that time. I actually joined in a little bit late today, unfortunately, after the price had actually kicked up this high. So I could not enter at any of the right levels, because my stop loss would have definitely been below, at least below the first candle wick, or more comfortably below the bottom central. So this was where I wanted my stop loss to be, and if my SL were there and if I were entering somewhere in this area where I actually joined in, then that wouldn't have been a very good risk reward, because I was planning to book my profits either at the H4 or at the R2 pivot. And you can see that price easily went and hit the R2 pivot right here. And what candlestick was that? It was a 9:40 AM candlestick. So 9:40 AM itself, the price had actually touched the target that I had planned. So my entry should have been somewhere here. Ideally I would have taken an entry on a slight pullback there, and my SL would have been here. Then I would have placed my target right here at the R2. Why the R2 and not the H4? Simply because I have seen that whenever the extreme reversal candlestick happens, the price usually will tend to rally. And so today being the expiry, even if my target were the R2, I would have seen how price was reacting, because I had actually planned to sell the 41,400 put option, and I also had added it to my watch list, but unfortunately I could not uh, trade on it. And 41,400 price at that time was not really attractive for me, because it was not giving me the correct risk reward at all. So the second time that I would have, or opportunity for me to enter, would have been if this particular central pivot or the L3 pivot here, that was the Cambrella pivot, would have been retested by price, because then I would have had the day low here from where price had initially shot up. So this was today's strong support. This would have been a strong support in price today, this entire zone, the CPR and the L3 pivot, L3 Cambrella level. So I had said in yesterday's video also that this would be my buying level and this would be my action level, and I waited for price to actually come down and hit this level again for quite some time. But then I realized that the price was holding very strongly, and around about here, that was around 1 o'clock when I saw this this price action here, this rally, that was when I actually lost hope that price would really come back anytime. And this is where I actually closed the system, because I am not going to chase price, that is for sure. I want to buy or sell at a premium. So if I sell here, that is if I sell a put option here, then where do I keep my stop loss? I don't have a safe place to keep my stop loss. H3 is not the level where I would go long. My level to go long would be somewhere at the day low. So what it would have shown me was, it would have probably given me this kind of a pattern where it would have given me a a long entry at the day low, which would have been a double bottom pattern, and then I would have entered long. I had also tweeted about this. I had also put it on Telegram, so that saying that I would, if I miss the bus, I will look to enter if price gives me another opportunity on a double bottom pattern. But that did not happen today. So anyway, it was a fantastic rally in Bank Nifty, and which I happened to miss. But no FOMO, no breaking the rule, nothing. It's a very mechanical system that I follow. I know exactly the pivots at which I will trade. As you know, my channel's name is the Pivot Trade, so I'm a pivot trader. Basically, I will trade only on specific pivots. And yes, also by the way, I had put it on the on Twitter also, I think today, that I'd spoken about the S1 pivot. So I'd spoken about supports today. So that's an important point that I want to mention in today's video. I will explain it to you when I analyze Nifty after a while. So first, before Nifty, let's go ahead and watch the important levels for the session on the 17th. Now that is on the Monday, so we have a very long weekend now, and let's turn on the next day's pivots here. So very predictably, you can see that after such a big ranging day today, that is a trending day today, you can see that the day's range was nearly 700 points. So the CPR is extremely wide in Bank Nifty. Now, how do you analyze price here? So see, what happens is initially the high, or the close rather, I would say, is above the current day's CPR. So we have that condition satisfied. Then the next condition that is important is whether the next day's CPR is above the current day's CPR, which it is. We also have the third level of the cams sitting above the third level of the, that is the third level of the cams for the next session, sitting above the third level of the cams for today. So we have an absolutely ripe day for another bullish entry. So the outlook will obviously be bullish for the 17th of April, that is for the Monday. So as long as price opens anywhere above this level, that is the level of the bottom central pivot above the BC, we will be looking for trades around the L3 pivot. If you ask me what is this pivot, then this is the L3 plus the PP. We have a golden pivot zone, and the L3 and the PP are a strong, where they will form a strong support level. So anywhere here, and the price being on a strong uptrend, you can, if it opens anywhere here, you can wait for a pullback to the central pivot zone, and then at that central pivot range, you can see the zone that is forming here, which is a golden pivot zone, GPZ, and at this level you can go long, or you can wait for the price to break below the golden pivot zone, and then you can see something like a reversal pattern there, maybe like a morning star or a hammer candle there, or you can see an outside bar reversal pattern there. Then you can go long at the central pivot range here. And since it's a very wide CPR, you can expect the day to be a sideways day or a trading ranging kind of a day, wherein the you will find some small trends during the day, but the range will be established early in the day itself, most likely. So it might be a wide initial balance for the day. That is what typically happens on days when there is a very wide CPR, or it could be a sideways day also, where you might never be able to enter the price because the price just stays very sideways and very silent, and trades in a very tight range. And we do have a virgin CPR in Bank Nifty, but it's a very narrow virgin CPR, so it's okay if you don't mark it. Anyways, if price were to open above the CPR, then the virgin CPR is of no use anyway, and no pivots below the S1 pivot will be of any use. So let's head over to Nifty now, and we will see how Nifty did. So this was Nifty's price action today. Not as strong as Bank Nifty. In fact, Nifty actually tended to sell off quite severely today. Initially, that is right from 9:40 AM, you can see that it was 12:30 PM. That was nearly 3 hours that Nifty took a heavy selling today, and it was basically profit booking. But if you can see this price action, it was right within the previous day's range, and Nifty did not actually close, or they did not actually trade outside the previous day's range for the most part of the day today. It was only towards the end of the day that only 4 candles traded outside the previous day's range, that is on the upside, but which gives me good positive signals in Nifty as well. so not as strong as Bank Nifty, but since it did not close any candle outside the previous day's range to the upside earlier in the day, it was clear indication that Nifty would most likely trade within the previous day's range, because in Nifty we had seen a good rally previously, that was on 12th, and the day range was quite wide in Nifty. But in spite of that, we had a much wider CPR in Nifty. This is the top central and the bottom central, which is a much wider CPR than we had in Bank Nifty. And Nifty did not really make any particular pattern there for a reversal trade. But one thing I wanted to tell you was, you can see here that S1 pivot lies at this level, and you can also see here that the L4 Cambrilla level also is at the almost about the same level. So this entire zone acts as a strong support for price, and once these wicks were formed, price was going to find it very difficult to close below that level. So you can see that we do not have any particular closing below that level. This red candle hasn't convincingly closed, it just about grazes that level. And whenever you have a strong uptrend in any market, so an uptrend is something like this, where you see pullbacks and you see that it is forming higher lows like this, you will most likely see that the levels below the S1 will never be tested. So all levels below S1 are usually worthless, and it is absolutely useless plotting them on the chart, and that is why S1 will be considered to be the last level of support whenever the price is in a strong uptrend. And you saw that today the price never really reached the S2 pivot, and the difference between the S2 and the S1 was quite big today. So this bigger sell-off was definitely not expected in the market today. So anyway, I was not expecting the S1 level to break today, and it hasn't exactly held very strongly, but you can see that buyers were coming in at this level, and we do not see any particular candlestick closing below the S1 level very comfortably. You can see only wicks at this level. So the wicks, wherever the wicks are, you should mark the low below the wicks, and the candle has to close very strongly below the wicks to really ensure that the market is going to fall to newer levels. But that did not happen today, and you can see how Nifty had a short covering rally towards the end there. That was pretty obvious, because the put prices would have been heated up when the market came down like this, but then all the put writers would have defended their position. So something around the 17,700 had seen a heavy OI build up, so that was a strong support anyway, and that's why the short covering came in. So the profit booking came in towards the end of the day. So right about after about 12:40 p.m., that was after 12:30 p.m, you can say, we saw a very nice short covering rally in Nifty, which actually was so strong that it broke right out of the day's high as well, the high that Nifty had made today early in the day. So had Nifty taken support at the L3 pivot here initially, and had it shown any particular reversal pattern there while at the retest, I would have expected Nifty to bounce from there right away, but price action did not really show any type of reversal pattern there. In fact, after this candle, then this candle was made, and had there been a reversal pattern like a doji and then another green candle, so a doji reversal candlestick or a morning star candlestick pattern, then this would have been a good opportunity to go long, and then we would have seen some good movement in Nifty right from that level. But we did not see that, and had Nifty reversed from the L3, then the first target would have been H3, second target would have been R1, and the next target would have been H4. But that did not happen, and since Nifty had to have a sell-off earlier in the day in the first half, and then the short covering rally in the second half, that is the reason why Nifty did not show any reversal pattern at that level, at the central pivot, I mean. So guys, let's go ahead and see what sort of CPR we have for the next day. We again have a wide CPR, but we have an overlapping wide and higher value CPR for the next trading session. You can see this CPR is overlapping with today's CPR. We also have the H3 Cambrilla level right here, and we have this H3 Cambrilla level right here, which is also overlapping higher value. So we do have higher value CPR as well as higher value H3 Cambrilla level for the next session, that is on the 17th, on the Monday, and we do have an overlapping PP as well as an L3 Cambrilla level, which is also known as a golden pivot zone right there, so that this will act as a strong support in Nifty as well. So any opening above the bottom central, it can be red or green, but the open has to be above the bottom central, will show a reversal roundabout at the CPR. Most likely, if SGX indicates a higher opening, then we will be able to see an opening between the H3 and the L3 on Monday. We do not have a virgin CPR to mark from today's price action, but we do have a very strong demand zone here. So let's go to the 15-minute time frame, and we will be able to mark this demand zone. You can put it in a box, and let's mark a box here. So you can see the S1 pivot, and below that you can see all these wicks, correct? So you can mark this, put these wicks in a box and extend this demand zone ahead so that we can have that ready as a demand zone. So let's go to Bank Nifty once and also check if we do have any particular level important there on the 15-minute time frame which we haven't marked. Well, look, we have this demand zone again in Bank Nifty, although we have it as the virgin CPR as well, but we will mark this entire level as a demand zone. So this is an important level in Bank Nifty. If price were to open below the CPR on Monday, just be wary of the fact that there is a demand zone right there. So price will look to bounce from there as well, even if it opens below the CPR and rejects the initial bias that we have formed today. So guys, if you've liked this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you're notified every time I post a new video. Do hit your comments in the comment section below and ask me any questions you have. I'll be happy to answer your questions and queries. Thanks guys, I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.